Oh, let's go. Okay, so as the title suggested, this is going to be a Springer front end build for the Honda Rebel 250. Now, this is something that I've not taken on lightly. If you've been following the build series, you'd have seen me a couple of episodes back, it's probably a bit longer than that now, running through a bit of a CAD mock-up. Now that worked out okay. Since then, there's been about 4 different revisions of that design. Not massively, but yeah, I've acquired different dimensions for the springs, different materials that I'm going to use for the build, and it probably comes down to a bit of safety as well. As I said, materials. I'm going to be riding this bike around, so I would like it to function well and not fall apart. So yeah, there's been a lot of information, research regarding different materials that I'm going to use. So that's kind of gone into the CAD program as well. And there's been some kind of design tweaks as well, stuff that I wasn't happy with. And also construction of the actual spring and front end. A lot of the stuff that I put into the build first time around, I wasn't able to manage with the equipment I've got. So I've kind of made it a bit more streamlined for the tooling that I have got to hand, which is a bit more basic. The source of information that I've been getting or acquiring all this kind of information has been a website. So the website's called the Chopper Builders Handbook. So you may have heard it before, you may have seen it. Fantastic website for people that are home builders, shed builders, customising bikes and what have you. So there's a fantastic amount of information on there, whether you want to make your own frame, hardtails, spring front ends obviously, sissy bars, yeah, all sorts of good stuff. And it's got pretty much a nice how-to guide on how to create these bits for your bike. So that's where all that information has come from. So I recommend you have a look at it. So yeah, nothing more to say, so let's crack on. So that's my perch plate, or springer plate, mid plate, whatever we want to call it. I've done one hole in it already, and that is, oh, knocking the camera, and that is going to match up with that template I've got. So what I'm going to do now is drill out the other side. It's going to take me a while. So yeah, we'll come back once I finish drilling. Squib. Two holes drilled. What am I looking for? Okay, so these are going to represent my forks. They're not to size, but they're close enough. It's kind of worked really well for me, kind of like putting a jig together. Okay. So it fits. So yeah, there's a bit of slot there. That's fine. But the holes are in the right place. So what I'm going to do now is just enlarge these holes a bit more, because the stock I've got is about 33mm plus, where these are 32mm holes. Yeah, you can't get a hole saw to 33mm. I've had a look, but hey ho. So yeah, I'll just file them out a little bit more, and then cut the rest of the template out. Now I've got a bit of a radius here. I may even run the hole saw through there. I'm not even sure. Don't know if it'll fit. So just to double check. Yeah, maybe a bit too small. Yeah, we'll see. Basic pattern. With some scribe lines just to follow. So that's my basic, well, my rough cut, should we say. Where do we start? We'll start here. Good old fashioned hacksaw. So there we go. More cuts to go. Right, so I've got my two pieces of cold rolled steel. So these are going to be, or these are going to make up the ends of the fixed fork tubes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt these two pieces together so I can basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Shape the ends. Yeah, shape the ends. We'll go for that. So what I've got is get into better light. I think that's okay. That's horrendous. I'll go for that. Okay, so I've got 60mm worth of material that's going to be welded into the actual fixed fork tube, and then I've got 40mm material here, which is where the central kind of pivot pin's gonna go. That's 15mm hole. I'm not going to do that now because my drill bit is broken. But what I can do is just drill these holes out here. So these are just going to be bolting the two pieces together. So just keep them nice and uniform while I'm shaping them. Okay, so that's the fixed fork ends. So I have gone ahead, I've done a bit more work to the end, shall we say. So drilled the two holes, and I also countersunk the holes on one side. Reason for that is so I could basically sink the bolt down, and then if I put it on the drill press, I've got a nice flat surface to put the part against and clean it all down, which is exactly what I've done for the edges, apart from these radiuses. So I put this into the lathe, so I've put a nice radius on the edges here. Reason for that is just because I wanted to fit them in the triple trees, so they fit through there nicely. All this is going to be ground down once they're fitted into the tubes, so it'll be nice and tidy. Excuse me people, I need to have a look myself. Right, ladies and gents, so the filing went on late into the night. So basically the slotted section, ground it down to a point that I was comfortable with, and then I just went at it with just a file, well, a monster file, and then a fine file, and then just beveled the edges just so it's ready for welding. Now what I've got here is basically a jig setup. So we'll keep the tube and the fixed end bracket part, we'll keep it nice and square and symmetrical to one another. So basically what I've got is two pieces of channel aluminium on top of the tube. One end I've got a bolt. So I found the center line of the channel and then just drilled a hole through both pieces. So I put both pieces together, clamped them up against the block, and then I just drilled through that center line. The fixed end bracket, fixed end part, I basically machined a smaller spacer just to fit on the internal diameter of that 15mm hole, just to take out any slop while I was bolting everything up, so keeps it a bit more rigid. On the outside of the front end bracket, or fixed end bracket, sorry, I've got two spacers, same thickness, again just keeps everything nice and square, and then I've just kind of loosely bolted it up. Now I've squared off the channels against flat surface, so either a bench or in this case a couple of blocks. I needed blocks just to raise up the component, just so I could put these clamps on in place. Oh, it's cold. Struggling to talk. I would put my heater on, but it knocks out the well, you guys can't hear me because it knocks out the audio, so I'll just bear with it. So yeah, squared it off on these blocks, so just with a set square, against the blocks, against the channel material, and just clamped it up. And once that was all done, once I'm all happy, I just chucked in a couple of tacks and yeah, finished it off from there. Now, I'm not going to weld it up for the time being, basically because the material is quite cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off fabricating, bring everything inside the house just to keep it nice and warm, and then once I'm ready to weld, bring it all out and just do a mass weld session. Whoa. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it here for this episode. I've got quite a bit done on the fixed forks, and they've got a bit more work to be done on them, and I need to finish off the other side as well, so that's got to come. If I can do that. You've seen one side, I'm just going to do the other side now. So next episode we're going to be looking at the active forks. I've already made a start on some of the parts, so got a template, got my piece of material that I'm kind of smoothing out as we speak, but yeah, smoothing it out. I also need to make another tool. This one's a bit more yeah, it's taking me a bit more time to do, but it's not really necessary, but I'd like it, so that's the way it's got to go, unfortunately. That's just me. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.